circumstances beyond our control to evacuate the building. Do not look back. Do not stop.
is no expectation of privacy in the public.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Good to see so many wonderful people in here once again. Oh, I love you guys so much. This is always a pleasure for me in the morning. I actually enjoy getting up. It's beautiful. All right, so who do we got? We got Terry Barnes in the house. We got Ikus. What's up? Hope you're feeling good, having a good day. Let's see, and then we got Nancy Marcho. Hello, welcome. Terry Barnes, Ikus. News Now Enemy. Hello, welcome. Terry Barnes. Let's see, Nancy. Hello, baby. Hello, baby. Billy Yank, good morning. What's up? How you doing today? Hello, baby. I am back. Yes, you are. Love it. Love seeing you here. Paracord Princess, yes. Let's see. Hello, baby. News Now Enemy. I am back. Paracord Princess. Benjamin Walter. Hello. Welcome. Script Cat's in the house. What's up, Script? Pack, of course. As always, good to see you. Jennifer. Hello. Welcome back. Let's see. Who else? Anyone I didn't say? So far, so good. Jim Hughes, hello. Christopher O'Connor, hello. I love this bit. What's the movie where his kid was deaf? It was Jaws. The shark was deaf, and it was his dad. Oh man, that's funny. Let's see. Terry Barnes, Jennifer, Paracord Princess, Jim Hughes, Gamer88. Hello, good morning. Good to see ya. Always, Stephanie. Hello, good morning. Your kitten likes to wake up at 5:30. Oh no, I'm sorry. Salacious, what's up? Welcome to the stream. All right. So before we get started with the regular show, there are a couple of things. First of all, Paracord was asking about the drawings. Yes, those are mine. All the music is mine. All the drawings are mine. That little pumpkin in the background, I drew him too. Yeah, that's all my stuff. I try to avoid copyright strikes, so I tend to use all my own material for the most part. And I noticed that, Scott Ammo, I didn't miss you now. I see ya with your little minion over there. Tonight I'm gonna go take my kids. We're gonna see Lyle Crocodile. I hope it's good. They love going to the movie theater. It's fun times for the whole family. And then speaking of movies, I saw you guys talking about like Mr. Holland's Opus and stuff like that. Yeah, that to me that movie was. I mean, I loved it, but it was almost like a slightly different version of "It's a Wonderful Life," right? But in a different way. That last song sounds like Pantera. Thank you. I take that as a compliment. Um, let's see. So, speaking of the movies, what we've been doing, and for those who've been following me for a while, would know that like this whole month, I've been doing this thing where I'm trying to watch a Halloween themed movie, not necessarily a scary movie, but at least a Halloween themed movie every day, um, or TV show. So what we've been doing, like so far this month, we watched Creep Show. Um, what else we did? Oh well, because of my kids, me and my 12-year-old watched Creep Show together, but the little guy, with him, we'll watch things like we did Arsenic and Old Lace, Little Shop of Horrors, those kind of movies, stuff that isn't necessarily bad for a little guy. But yeah, we have a lot of fun in the Halloween season. Now, I did see earlier also that Paracord Princess asked if I could play Thriller. So obviously I can't, but I can get kind of close. Now, anyone who's been following me for a while has probably already seen this, but since there was sort of a request for Thriller, this is about as close as I could come to it. This is the video I posted last Halloween. So I'm going to go ahead and play it real quick so we can see my fun stuff and what the world would be like if the auditors won and got their way. Hezokuai Halloween, Dusk of the Frauditors. Enjoy.
In a post-apocalyptic reality where none can leave their home safely. My only weapon, a phone. The battery's almost dead. I barely have enough charges. I need to be able to play copyrighted music. I hope I'll be able to survive. I need supplies. I'm almost out. There's food in the shed. I know there's food in the shed. I have to go. Oh, I have to go. Please, 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 please. There is no expectation of privacy in public.
There is no expectation of privacy in public.
No, please, no. If you don't want to be filmed, you should stay home. First Amendment protected activity. You shouldn't leave your homes if you don't want to be filmed. Oh no, copyright. That'll buy me a few seconds. Gotta get in this shed. Come on. Come on. The light outside. I'm inside. Come on, where's that supplies? Food.
Just leave.
There's no expectation of privacy in public.
That's not free. The world where everyone has to be afraid to leave their house.
Stop it! No!
Yeah, that's the closest I could come to playing Thriller. Thank you very much. Yeah, yeah, I have a lot of fun. I don't. I Most of my old videos are just parodies like that, sketches, skits, things of that nature. Um, what I've been trying to do in my more recent videos is to sort of combine my my old school style with like putting sketches into my discussions of frauditor videos and all their nonsense. Um, where's Perry? He's right there, man. You want him on my head? I don't know, man. That hat's hot. I'm in Florida. Um, we'll see. Master of Puppets. Yep. Oh, thank you, Lars. Thank you very much. Glad to see you here this morning. Once again, as always, great to have you here. So yeah, that was my Halloween video last year. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do this year. I'm thinking, because Halloween's on a Monday, I'm thinking of doing sort of double duty that Monday, like come on in the morning, because of course I'm going to be on in the morning, right? But then that night after we go trick or treating and the kids go to bed and all that, I want to come on and do like a late night scary Halloween stream, but I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want to handle that. Let's see. Anyway, there's been some interesting stuff going on. I've been following the trial again. I could show a couple of clips from it, but part of the issue with this is, every day they're going for like 8-9 hours, so you got to sift through a lot of, if any of you have ever actually watched court proceedings before, especially in a case like this where it's not just like a stupid traffic ticket, there's a lot of sitting around and digging through paperwork and pulling up questions, and especially with this guy representing himself, right? It's always, no matter what you say, I object. A couple things that were very interesting yesterday is how yesterday morning when they first started, Daryl Brooks was actually wearing a suit, not his jail clothes, and he stood up and he gave this speech where he said, "I'd like to apologize to the court, the bailiffs, the judge, everyone, for my behavior these past few days." And so it seemed like he was done with that whole sovereign citizen nonsense. But then he didn't. He just went right back to the sovereign citizen script. Oh, they say his name. I don't answer to that name. One of the things he did do yesterday that, yeah, and then he immediately got stupid. But one thing he did do yesterday that I said yesterday on my, because my morning stream is obviously before the trial starts, so I was talking about this before they went on, and it was interesting seeing that he finally is starting to at least attempt to place doubt in the idea that he was the one driving the car. I don't think he's doing a very good job of it. I don't stand under him. Anon One News, good to see you. Sam I Am, hello, welcome. Pancake syrup, yes. Good Canadian maple syrup right out of the tree, right? But so anyway, he was actually trying to create some sort of doubt whether or not he actually was the driver. It does seem quite fascinating to me that everyone remembers a guy with a beard and long hair, and all of a sudden he shaved himself bald and shaved his beard off. So that's interesting. But the grounds, yes, Jim. Like now, his new thing is every time he objects and the objection is overruled. Well, what's the grounds? What's the grounds? What's the grounds? And it's like, look, you you can't do that. You can't object, especially his whole thing about, well, no matter what, I'm going to object to the idea that this court has any sort of jurisdiction over me or anything like that. We all know that that's just a bunch of gobbledygook, right? Sovereign citizen nonsense and garbage. But yeah, he's trying to act like he knows something. He don't know nothing. But anyway, before we start getting into that, I got a couple little interesting things I wanted to share with you guys. First of all, and well, yeah, I wanted to address it too, though. Actually, Jim, he makes himself look foolish too. That's one of the things that I think. I mean, obviously, I don't know the judge, right? I can't go inside her head, but it does seem a lot to me like she, because a lot of people were complaining, like, why is she letting him go on and on and on and drone all of this nonsense? I think it's one, so that if and when he appeals, every every I will be dotted, every T will be crossed, and every possible thing he could have said or objected to will be on the record. And two, sort of giving him the rope to hang himself with, right? Like, you know what? He wants to say all this stupid nonsense that's going to just make him look worse in the eyes of the jury. Let him, you know, because the fact of the matter is, allegedly, he was the guy driving the car. So I actually took another look at that still frame where it shows the driver of the SUV. And if you look close enough, you can see clearly that it's him. There's no question about that. So he did it. Yes, Benjamin, hello. Jamie Patel, hello, welcome. There's no need to fear. Hezokuai is here. That's right. I don't fool around, and I always got my coffee. But yeah, so the trial is basically a lot of the same nonsense. He's trying to be better, but he's not. And he even made a statement where he said that I'm not, what was it exactly that he said? I'm not disputing any of the facts of the case. I'm saying you guys don't have jurisdiction to try this case at all in the first place. So I want this case to be dismissed because I am not the corporate entity known as Daryl Brooks, blah, 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 sovereign citizen garbage. Like, and that goes back to my whole argument and the whole reason why. Well, I mean, there are a lot of reasons why this case fascinated me. But once I realized this guy was a soffsit, and that's part of what I do here, right, is the whole idea that he is trying to, on one hand, he's trying to build the defense that he wasn't the driver, right? But at the same time, what he's really looking for is a dismissal based on all this stuff. And again, when these guys go into court making these arguments over traffic tickets, which is 90% of it, it's like, yeah, whatever. It's just a stupid traffic ticket. They'll probably be able to get it dismissed because it's nonsense. But this is a freaking mass murder trial, as well as all the people he injured in reckless endangerment and everything else that he's charged with. This isn't a joke. This isn't some silly, stupid little thing that you could just talk your way into a dismissal. Like, this is real. And he's treating it like, he got pulled over for not having a license plate on his car. So anyway, there's all that, whatever. But what I'm going to do now is I want to share with you guys the new Casey Camera Boy video. I know. Don't everybody leave going, oh, no, I hate this guy. I don't want to hear his voice. It's so annoying. because it is, and he is. But I like this video in particular because, well, first of all, he's auditing a bank. And at some point, apparently, I guess this was his bank and they froze his account for whatever reason. He says it's because they didn't like his name. I don't know. It's none of my business. But the reason why I like this is because when I talk about these guys, one of my biggest beefs and pet peeves is it's bad enough that Susie, the sassy old great granny, gotta acknowledge that you're here. Good to see you. Brian Showman, hello, welcome to you as well. Leland Squirrels, of course, always. And then sometimes I get messed up when I say hello to everybody because I want to make sure I cover everybody, but sometimes I forget who I said hello to already or not. Anyway, this horrible, evil tyrant bank. So he decides to audit the bank. And one of the things that I love, or I shouldn't say love to make fun of, but hate it when it happens. The excuse is always to hold the government accountable and to hold the police accountable. And then they audit regular private citizens. Like, what does that have to do with any of your stated goals? Nothing. So, again, I wanted to share this video just because I like the fact that a regular citizen, just a regular dude, calls him out. And they have this conversation. And, of course, Casey Camera Boy does his normal shtick or whatever. But I love it when they get confronted by the general public because the whole, again, stated goal with these idiots is supposed to be the police and the government employees and this and that. So if that's all true and we're supposed to believe all that, how come when you come in contact with private citizens, you still act like they're a government employee and have to comply to your demands because you pay their salary? Yamaha Biker, hello. All right, so anyway, let's take a look at the new KC Camera Boy video.
On this bank, so apparently to this bank, my name was too suspicious that they decided to close my account and withhold my money for like about a month. They thought it was funny, but here I am. Let's see what's funnier. Look. Look at this one. Oh, we got a can back. No, we got a can back.
Come on, fellas.
How can I help you, son?
How can I help you?
I don't know. How can I help you?
What are you guys up to?
Hi. What are you up to?
What's going on?
What's going on?
Yeah, you tell me.
Oh, no, you tell me.
You guys look interesting.
You look interesting,
What are you
too.
looking to find out?
I know. I'm going to find out, too.
You guys on a search? Mesmerize me. Tell me.
What is it?
Mesmerize me. Tell me what you guys are doing.
Are you a crybaby?
No, but
You sound like it.
Behind the mask.
You sound like a crybaby, bro.
No, you look like a crybaby fool.
Yeah. Stop being all hard just for no reason, fool. We're working here.
You're working. What are you working at?
Man, go get a job or something.
Huh? You look like you need a job.
No, I don't look like.
You guys like look.
Yeah, I'm not here part like a dummy, bro. Blocking the bike lane and all that. Am I? Right? I was working here. I didn't stop.
You did what? I heard what you said.
You heard me?
I didn't hear you.
Well, that sucks.
What are you guys doing?
None of your business, fool. Kick rocks.
Hey, buddy. Yeah, come on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, that wasn't very nice.
Yeah. What are you gonna do, fool?
Come on.
Yeah, man. Turn all cool and shit.
I'm gonna make all the other people.
Yeah, right, fool.
Come on.
Call whoever you want. Call whoever you want, you fool. Call whoever you want, you fool.
Son,
Call whoever you want, you fool.
He's saying the F
what
word.
about you, fat
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
fat boy?
Like, look at you. Look at you. Yeah, right. Come down. You're gonna melt right there, Snowflake. Come down. Go grab your camera. Go grab your cheat sheet. Go home and grab your cheat sheet and suck on it.
Don't you want to grab my cheat sheet? Come on.
Yeah, go home and grab your cheat sheet and suck on it. Yeah.
Hey, that's
yeah.
not very nice.
Oh, someone is mad. Someone is mad. Someone is mad.
I think it's affected.
Someone is triggered.
Come on.
Someone is affected by freedom. You never seen freedom?
You You ain't got no freedom.
You never seen Freedom? You never seen Freedom?
You got no freedom.
You never seen Freedom, bro?
That's why you're
Wow.
I know the song Freedom by
Wow.
Wham. That's a good song.
Wow. Come on, man. Really? You're gonna make a fool of yourself like that? Wow. Incredible, man.
It's the incredible edible egg.
Right? Well, you're now the story, brother.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
ain't the story either.
Yeah, thank you. I always been the story.
No, you ain't no
Thank you.
story.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Lost boys, though.
Yeah.
Lost
Thank you.
Boys? Like the movie The Lost Boys with Kiefer Sutherland?
What a crybaby, bro.
That's a good movie, actually.
So who pulls up just to question somebody else?
You guys.
What else? Are you gonna call their man to come and do your man's job too? Come on, man. Call them. We ain't tripping. We ain't tripping. It's your right.
I'm right here.
It's your right.
What do you mean?
It's your right.
Come on.
Have I left? Have I left?
Come on, let's go.
Is there a threat? You don't want to threaten me, bro. You don't want to make a threat on me. I'll tell you straight up. You don't want to threaten me, bro. You don't want to make a threat. You don't want to make a threat.
You said I need to call somebody for help.
Yeah, exactly, fool.
What do I need to do now?
Yeah. Nobody was picking on you. You came up to us. So suck it up. Suck it up now and deal with it. Deal with it, fool.
I'm afraid of you guys. They got out of my car.
All right, so hello, Unclean Hands. Good to see you, buddy. So, what happens? I mean, what did we just watch, right? So, the guy pulls up and says, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And do they say, "Oh, we're just filming. Oh, we got a YouTube channel and we're making videos for our YouTube channel"? Do they say any of those things? No. What do they say? What are you, a crybaby? Why are you crying, huh? Wait a minute. Hold on a second. He said, "What are you guys doing? Where's the crying? Where's the snowflake? Where's it?" He said, "What are you doing?" "Oh, we're just filming." "Oh, okay. Just taking pictures." No, see, that's the thing, David. That's the thing. Hello, Julie. He said, "What are you guys doing?" And instead of saying, "We're just taking pictures," or, "Oh, we're here, because we have a YouTube channel," or blah, 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 whatever, Casey Camera Boy, this is Casey Camera Boy, turns around and says, "Why are you crying? Why are you being such a crybaby whiner, snowflake?" He just said, "What are you guys doing? What are you guys up to today?" He said, "You guys look interesting with your cameras. I was just wondering what's going on." "What's up, Zerzy?" "None yet." Well, they didn't say that either. They just immediately started accusing him of being a crybaby because he asked a question. Asking questions is crybaby now? Asking questions is snowflake now? Seriously, it's like, why? Okay, since David, since you want to support this, what's the purpose of performing the audit on a standard citizen? It's not a cop. It's not a government employee. It's just a regular dude. So why are you going to stay in the whole "I'm doing an audit" idea? Why are you going to maintain that script when you're dealing with just a regular person? What's the point of that other than to get a negative reaction on purpose, intentionally, to be an asshole?
Oh, you're afraid of us?
Oh, my
Really?
God.
You guys are
Really?
saying I need to call for
Chris,
help.
are you afraid of us?
Yeah.
Do we look dangerous? Crazy people today. I'm telling you.
Kind of looks like Grizzly Adams.
Agree. Dude, for real, why would you do that? Why would you come and harass us like that? We weren't doing anything.
Why are you coming over here and taking pictures of me and harassing me?
Who took pictures of you?
Huh? I didn't
You
take
seem
pictures.
suspicious.
Yeah, you did.
Can you keep your hand out? Hey, your left hand. What are you doing there? What do you have, brother?
Right where?
Your left hand. Can you where I can see it, please? You're making me fear for my safety. Now that's gonna make me fear for my safety. It looks like you actually grabbing onto something.
I think this is a no park.
Wow. Wow. I can't believe you're doing this to yourself.
That's a really nice white belt you got there.
Thank you.
That's cute, man.
Yeah, you like it?
GQ, huh?
Right?
Yeah.
This guy. I can't believe.
We had a
Wow.
lot of fun. It was nice gagging with you.
What would we do that, man? Like, for real.
Right.
No, I'm just messing with you guys. It's all.
What would we be doing that, man?
I don't know. It's nice of you guys.
Yeah, because
Sure.
Whatever you guys are doing, good luck with it.
Alrighty, well,
you don't want to take the
All right,
spice,
stay safe.
but then a cop
Okay.
comes.
hey, how's it going?
Ooh.
I guess the bank.
Ooh.
I guess the bank is calling.
Oh, for reals? What do they want?
I just want to see what you guys are doing. So,
Yeah.
really good. Just doing your thing.
What is it?
You guys are not on the property doing your thing, so you guys are good to go.
Yeah.
Some people are obviously going to call you guys.
I mean, they closed my bank account and they withhold like over $3,000 on me.
Okay.
And they made me wait over a month. So I just got them. So I'm kind of pissed at them for that. Because what if I don't have money? What if I'm someone who... My mom just died of COVID and I needed those $3,000 for funeral expenses.
You'll probably have to talk with corporate.
Yeah.
Oh, so this
Man,
is
I
a
did for 2 weeks straight,
retaliatory edit.
They didn't give a crap.
Retaliation. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, they did piss me off. So I'm doing...
Well, just so you know, you guys are keep getting calls.
Yeah.
But not that big of a deal as long as you guys
Okay.
start to space.
No, we're respecting people. People are being
Cool.
nice. Thank you.
Excuse me, officer? I've never seen you before. You're very handsome.
Oh, you always get me on it. Stay safe, man. Thank you. Oh, God.
Wow. Can you believe the unadulterated tyranny, the audacity, the insane stupidity of that horrible, terrible, evil cop telling them that they can just keep doing what they're doing and not be bothered? Oh, how awful. Oh, poor Casey Camera boy had nothing happen. Oh, man. But he still decided to make a video. Oh, man. I have bananas in the house. Hey, what's up? Let's see. Did he say we're respectful people? No, he's not. Anyone who's familiar with Casey Camera Boy and his work should know better than to think anything that he says is anything, because it's all garbage, crap, and nonsense. Oh boy. Debo's Nation, hello, welcome, good to see you. We got a great crowd in here this morning. Love you guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let's see. Now I wanted to take a look at a couple other things here. First of all, I wanted to share this just because I thought this was absolutely great. This is from this is a video that was posted recently by Radical, the Unhallowed Knight, and I just thought it was so freaking hilarious. I had to share it for any of you guys who haven't seen it yet. It's called "The Funniest Poster 7 Frauditor I've Seen in a While," and this is great stuff. You guys are gonna like this, and if you haven't subscribed to Radical, the Unhallowed Knight, definitely get on it. I don't know why you wouldn't already be, but here, let's take a look at this. This is brilliant.
So you're not familiar with your Poster 7, the rules and regulations that govern
I'm
conduct?
familiar with everything I need to be familiar
Well,
with.
you don't have it posted.
Until you show me any kind of postal regulation,
It's on Poster
I don't
7,
need to
and you don't
say
have it
anything
posted.
to you.
I guess this is a first. We're not walking up to the post office. We're already inside. And we're outside again.
These are the people that are in charge of your ballots.
Indeed. Is he trying to make a point? I mean, standing outside filming people working, that might be a thing that frauditors do, but there's no point to be made here other than him being useless. Oh, I get it. He was trying to imply that these people are useless. I see.
These are the people that are driving your ballots around, driving your votes around.
The date is October 2020.
Oh no, he's got a voiceover intro. All that's missing is the little text where he is, and then the date and the time, maybe. Well, I guess this one is the first one that does actually some bloody editing, and he can't take this back. I mean, he's outside again. He's supposed to be inside the bloody post office.
It's a peaceful day, a great day to engage in our constitutionally protected First Amendment rights of public photography. Today we are in Leslie, Michigan. Freedom News Now is on the front lines to hold accountable this U.S. Post Office to ensure it fully complies with Poster 7. the rules and regulations governing conduct on postal service property.
Yeah, that's all fine and dandy, but you could have done that much better with a better voiceover, you know? Something along the lines of, in a world where post office and postal workers work, there's one man, a frauditor to be exact, who will enter the post office and film. Now, if he were to read the entire Poster 7, he would have known that he had to get permission from the postmaster. Today, we will see him in action to see if he can read.
While gathering content for our story, we observe an unmarked van pull up and unload several large bins full of mail and election ballots.
Oh, great. He's still going. Well, okay, let's continue then, shall we? At one point, he observes a van driving. Now, this van is transporting something valuable. Voting ballots, which have to go to the post office. This man is about to figure out this particular thing.
The large bins were transferred into the Leslie U.S. Post Office by unmarked persons.
Yeah, I'm not doing this anymore.
After observing the strange behavior, Freedom News Now went inside to continue our investigation. Upon entering, we noticed no Poster 7 or other important signs posted to show Leslie U.S. Post Office follows the rules and regulations which govern the conduct on postal service property. When asking the U.S. Post Office employee about following U.S. Post Office rules and regulations, she gave a nasty reply.
Uh-huh.
I love this. Wow.
Oh, come on, man. We just saw this. Now you're going to repeat it, and we're going to do another voiceover. You're also outside again. Come on. Get into the post office, do your stupid thing, so we can laugh at you. All right? Lovely. For fuck's sake. Fast forward. This guy's even worse than the other frauditors. He goes outside before he goes in.
How dare those public employees do their job?
These are the people that are in charge of your ballots.
Good.
These are the people that are driving your ballots around, driving your votes around. So you're not familiar with your Poster 7, the rules and regulations that govern conduct?
I'm familiar with everything I need to be familiar
well,
with.
You don't have it posted.
Until you show me any kind of postal regulation.
It's on Poster 7, and you don't have it posted.
The Leslie, Michigan U.S. Post Office clearly has something to hide.
Oh, come on, man. He's clearly got something to hide. These people are just working, bringing in the mail, bringing in the ballots, and now this guy is just filming. If you were filming something that is shady, why didn't they say anything? Not to mention, when are you frauditors actually going to read the entire Poster 7? Because the little snippet that is on there is already debunking anything you have ever said. A Poster 7 in and of itself is much bigger. It's I will link it in the description. Maybe you guys will read it someday, and not selectively. For fuck's sake. Oh, great. Is this just going to be another intro at the end of the video? That is not how that works, mate.
They will do anything to keep those secrets from the people of Leslie. So the question is, what are they hiding? Why the fear of transparency and accountability? Share your comments below. Freedom fighters, if you like this First Amendment of the Leslie, Michigan U.S. Post Office uncovering potential corruption, like and share this video, subscribe, ring the bell to enable all notifications. Remember, not one of us is stronger than all of us. Rise up together and fully support the First Amendment audit community. Always record, stay strong, never give up. And we'll see you at the next high-impact First Amendment audit. Freedom News Now, we're out.
Oh no. Wow.
Anyway, that was that. Hold on. Real quick, I just want to talk about something because I noticed a couple people here talking about David. David is in here every day. He's actually, he's always here. And I've said this before to all my mods. If he disagrees, that's one thing. But if he crosses the line into, and he never has, into, straight up like harassment, bullying, anti, whatever. You know what I'm talking about, crossing the line. If he does that, kick him immediately. But just not agreeing or having his own opinion about stuff, that's fine. That's what the First Amendment's all about, right? He crossed the line yesterday. Oh, you mean when he was talking about the trial? Yeah, there were a couple things he said that I was a little bit, hey, whoa, now wait a minute. Like, agreeing with the frauditor is one thing, but, agreeing with the guy who ran a bunch of people over. But he even said straight up yesterday that he wasn't, no, it wasn't that. Well, I don't know. Yeah, what did he say that was so horrible? I mean, I don't know. I don't always see everything in the chat. I try to keep up, but, people say things and things happen. But he equated a poster worker to Daryl Brooks. Yeah, that's I don't know, man. That's anyway. For the moment, he's here. He's doing his thing. He's not, I'd have to see that to say, but again, you ever see anyone come in here and blatantly go off the rails, boot them, and especially if we start getting porn bots and stuff, obviously you want to get rid of those guys immediately. But anyway, the other clip I wanted to share with you guys is from Frauditor Troll posted this yesterday. It's a piece of an interview he did with an auditor where he's telling the story about how these kids skipped out on $20 that they owed him, and he showed them his gun, and that's what the conversation's about. But the thing that stuck out to me is that at one point, and this is the second guy, or as they would say in Europe, second guy that Troll has interviewed that straight up, flat out admits that he audits for the money. It's not about rights. It's not about freedom. It's about money. And he says it. But again, the whole conversation is about the gun thing. So that kind of he just kind of slips that in there. So go ahead and take a look at this and listen to what these idiots say. Yeah, it's definitely stupid to pull a gun over $20. But here, let's hear this idiot's excuse. Here we go.
Okay, I'll tell you where I got arrested. You know what I got arrested for?
Yeah, you just said it like a little bit ago.
Yeah, I got arrested for protecting myself from 3 teenagers who had robbed me. Yeah. And I held the gun up to my chest. You know what the cop did?
Protecting myself.
The cop said, okay, if they give you the money back, I was a taxi driver at the time. This was when I had injured my shoulder. Okay, so it was before I started my other job. I'm fully transparent here, man. I'm telling
another
things
frauditor with a shoulder
injury out here. Okay. But it's a public record. So if you want to go look it up, you look it up, but you're going to have to find it, not me. And so what happened was these kids took off on without paying a fare. I went after them. There was 3 of them. There was 1 of me. I had carried a gun with me legally in Arizona, and I put it up the chest to brandish it. Okay. And so they caught the kids. They brought them back. They said that I pointed the gun. Now, these are kids that weren't even of legal age yet, out at midnight. Okay, going to parties and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay, and the cop said, "Well, if they pay you back, are you good? And we'll just drop everything, right?" And I said, "Sure, why not? I'm a reasonable guy." So they gave me the money. I took it back, and then they took the kids home. They kept me there. They came back. The cop solicited a thing against me on his daughter, and they took me to jail.
Sorry, I have a question. I mean,
sure.
you pulled a gun on kids.
Now hold on.
How much money was it for?
It was for $20.
Yeah.
But there was 3 of them.
Okay.
And don't tell me
but you chased them. But you chased them. So yeah, they were out of your car.
They were out of my car. Okay. And when I tried to catch them, then there was 3 of them. Okay.
Yeah.
3 against me.
Yeah, I know, but I understand. Like, it sucks getting scammed, but anyways, and in the middle of the night, running after 3 kids, teenagers, whatever. They can be very violent. Why, you know?
Because of principle, man. I've been stolen.
Sure.
I've never been robbed, but I've had tons of things stolen from me. I hate thieves.
No, I hate thieves too, but to chase kids with a gun for $20 is a bit much.
Okay, so real quick, the first thing I wanted to point out is that what he's saying is his story, his excuse is, I was protecting myself, right? I chased down these 3 kids. So wait a minute. You're the one chasing them. So how are you protecting yourself from them when you're the one who's chasing them down? And yeah, potential murder doesn't match the crime of stealing $20. Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah, so I think I'm getting back to the point of what I was talking about earlier is what actually caused you to have this kind of motivation.
Here we go.
To be an auditor.
I told you, man, it's for the money.
That's
one of the motives.
No,
that's part
not
of it.
the money.
That's part of it, and it's part of holding. Okay.
You just described to me one of the most horrific scenes I could possibly imagine, being held at gunpoint and
Who's held at gunpoint? I didn't see. Do people listen? I said I held it to my chest. I did not point it at them. It's called brandishing. I did not. I displayed a firearm. I did not point it at.
Okay, so you pulled. Hold on. Let's get very detailed about what happened. So you pulled it out of your holster, or where was it? Can you describe?
It was in my car.
Okay, so it was in your car. So and could you just show us with your hands, like what happened?
Right here, like this. I held the gun up against my chest.
And said
I didn't point him because I didn't want to commit assault. I didn't want any problems with him.
And and said what?
I said, give me my money back.
No, you didn't. Come on.
Okay. Look, man, I'm not, you know what? I am fully transparent. I have no reason to make up any story.
If you could make up a story that you could hold a gun to your chest, brandish it in front of, I'm sorry, how many other people were there?
3.
Yeah, 3 kids.
3 kids.
How old were they? Were they like 17, 16?
17.
17.
You know that they were all 17. Or is that a guess?
Come on, dude. Hey, Troll, let's...
No. I mean, you talked about the story. We want, like, the actual... We're not trying to put words in your mouth. That's why we're asking questions.
Let me ask you
this can of worms.
No, I understand that, and I did. But this was one of the things that I was afraid of. For one thing, I said, I'm very transparent. And this was the one thing that I would go down a rabbit hole. Okay, let's talk about the real thing, okay? Because anything I say is not going to satisfy any of your trolls. Let's be honest here. Anything I say,
not true.
Okay, but so then let's get back to the crux of your question of why it was. And the reason, one of the things that brought me to the forefront about government, and particularly the police, okay, is this cop arrested me for myself for not doing anything wrong. I did not legally do anything wrong, and they dropped the charges.
And what state was this in?
I'm not going to go into the state.
All right. That's enough of that. I just wanted to make the point that, one, he admits he does it for the money, because they always, we're doing it for rights and freedom, and they're not. They're doing it for the cash. But also, the general idea and his argument and excuse for what he did and all that, it's like, okay, so if you're talking about a situation like this, and then ultimately, what did he say? He said, ultimately, the case was dismissed, or the charges were dropped, he said. So now let's think about this for a minute, okay? So you always hear these stories where these the sovereign citizens, the Moors, the frauditors especially, love to brag about the fact that their cases were dismissed. And we always make the argument that they call a dismissal a victory when A not guilty verdict is a victory, not a dismissal, right? And we always try to make that argument, but I wanted to look at that from a slightly different angle and then take a little bit of a different perspective on it. Because what are we really talking about? The justice system is all screwed up. Look at all this terrible, evil, rotten, horrible, no good tyranny and the way that they're treating the public by trying to take away our rights and this and that. And I could prove it because I got my case dismissed. Okay. If the charges are dropped, if the case is dismissed, then what are you talking about ultimately? You're saying that there's a problem in this country that you need to do this fraud auditing to expose the issue. Okay, what's the issue? That your case is being dismissed? If it's dismissed, what's the problem? If these people were literally doing nothing illegal but getting locked up anyway, that'd be one thing. But they always brag about their cases being dismissed all the time. So it goes back to what I've said over and over and over, right? Number one, the whole ID refusal thing. There's so many of these situations where they get these cops asking for ID and then they refuse to ID. And you could do a search on YouTube for ID refusal and get thousands of videos. If the police are forcing you against your will to give up your ID, then how could even one ID refusal video possibly exist? They wouldn't. So that's a non-issue. They just made it up for clicks and views. Because, again, the proof is the fact that those videos exist at all. The cops would forcefully take your ID from you whether you liked it or not. But that's not what's happening. There's thousands of ID refusal videos, which means that people are refusing to ID and getting away with it, no problem. And they're not being forced to ID. So that's a false narrative. Number two, the First Amendment right, and my right to film, be ATV Thunder, Thunder. The idea of, I'm not doing anything, I'm just filming. And these horrible, evil, rotten, no good tyrants are trying to stop me from filming. And yet, every single day, in fact, just earlier today, we watched a KC Camera Boy video where he was auditing a bank and a cop came and talked to him for a second and then split. How could that video possibly exist if the cops are stopping people from filming? But you filmed it. You posted it. They didn't stop you from filming or the video wouldn't exist. But it does exist. So that proves that that's also a false narrative, because there wouldn't be all of these auditor videos if they were being stopped from filming. They're not. And my favorite bit is the walk of shame. So let's see. You're a cop is walking back to his car and you're saying, walk of shame, like a little kid on the schoolyard. You do the walk of shame, right? First of all, if you didn't give ID and if you're still filming as they're walking away so that you can claim they're doing the walk of shame, that means that they didn't get your ID, they didn't stop you from filming, and you're still saying whatever you want. False narrative. Those things aren't happening, because then there wouldn't be so many thousands of videos where those things don't happen. And then if you do get arrested for something that you didn't do and your case is dismissed, there once again. Okay, so where's all this big, horrible tyranny. If these people were being found guilty of hurting someone's feelings, then you could say, oh, feelings police, this and that. But they're bragging constantly about their cases being dismissed. So, once again, where's the problem? What are you fighting for? You're fighting so that people will have their cases dismissed. Well, your cases are being dismissed. You brag about it all the time. Well, we're fighting so you won't get arrested. Well, every day there's 100 videos posted of these guys not being arrested. We look for the arrest videos, and they're not always easy to find. So it's not that common that these guys get arrested. And when they do, they usually get their case dismissed and brag about it. So what are they fighting for? They're fighting to stop people being found guilty for nothing, but you guys are always being found not guilty or having your cases dismissed and constantly bragging about it. Or you're not getting arrested in the first place. So what are you fighting against? That they arrest people, but they're not. And when they do, you get dismissed. So what's the fight? It's like I said yesterday, the whole civil rights thing. And when they compare themselves, and I mentioned this before, when they compare themselves, hey, Roisin, what's up? Good to see you. And compare themselves to people like Rosa Parks. It's the same idea. It's like, okay, when it was literally legal to tell someone who was black or Jewish or handicapped or whatever that they can't shop in your store because they're black or handicapped or whatever, once they changed that law, once they passed the Civil Rights Act, you couldn't do that anymore. That affected millions of people all over the country. But if these guys get their idea to actually happen, how many people are going to be effective? How many auditors on there? Maybe 1,000? I don't know. 500? Other than that, whose lives are going to be affected by this big civil rights change that they made? Nobody's trying to film all the stuff that these guys are filming. And the whole idea of just walking around with your camera and taking pictures of stuff, nobody's getting stopped for that. I haven't seen one video yet of someone that was literally just doing that got in trouble for it. It's always people who plant their cameras down in one spot and start filming something or walking into a building and and they always have an attitude problem. When you talk to them, they never answer questions. They always act evasive. They always purposely go out of their way to cause suspicion. And that's one of my biggest beefs, is the excuses, well, technically, I don't have to answer their questions. Yoda, what's up, man? Good to see you, buddy. Hey, the force is an energy field created by all living things. It penetrates us, it surrounds us, and it binds the galaxy together. I love it. Val Venus, when his dismissed is not a win, he almost put in contempt of court and kicked out and trespassed with the courthouse. Yeah. Val Venus, that guy's something else, man. And I'm a big wrestling fan. I love pro wrestling, and I got to admit, I loved it when some of the people in the comments were like, dude, you went from being a jobber to being a First Amendment auditor. What's wrong with you? And then people saying, dude, is this whole frauditor thing just kayfabe? Oh, man, love that stuff. Yeah, Pack, the comeback thing. That's a whole nother thing that drives me so crazy. Like, that's something I will never be able to understand, because if you're walking around filming people, and that's awesome because that's your right, that's your freedom, that's what you're supposed to do, that's great and that's beautiful. And then if I film you, I'm just a canback Karen. I'm just a snowflake. I'm just cambacking. Like, wait a minute. It's literally the same thing you're doing. How come it's not only okay when you do it, but it's your freedom? It's your civil rights fight against tyranny and oppression. But when I do it, I'm just a cambacker and a Karen. These people are so stupid. And yes, Leland, I showed a clip the other day. It was from Denver Metro Audits, where at the end of his video, he put this snippet in there where he was like, he was selling it like he was showing examples of other people doing the same thing he does, but they don't get in trouble. And then what did he show? A bunch of clips of people taking selfies. Like, you grab a camera and you take a selfie. Like, how is that in any way related to setting your camera up in front of a bank or in front of a, post office or a fast food joint or whatever, or going into a place and saying, yes, I'd like to request a FOIA. And okay, this is something I actually wanted to talk about. And I think this is important to get into. It's the whole, I wanted to put this more in frame, that 2 FOIAs are better than 1 Frauditor troll shirt. The whole FOIA thing drives me nuts because I've noticed this. The more I've been watching these videos, the more I've been starting to realize something. Their business, right? Their legitimate business, the reason they walked in there was to do their FOIA request or to get their complaint form, right? So they're building the false narrative that the reason they're there is because they have a legitimate purpose to be in the building. It's to fill out a FOIA request. Okay. And to fill out complaint forms. All right. So they walk in the building, they request the paperwork. Someone there says, hey, I don't like being filmed. Please don't film me. Or there's a sign on the wall that says you're not allowed to film in here, or this and that. So now the FOIA request is for whoever asked them to stop filming, and the complaint form is to complain about the person who asked them to stop filming. So wait a minute. We're supposed to believe that the whole reason you walked into the building in the first place was to do a FOIA request and to fill out a complaint form for the people who, when you first walked into the building, you had not even come into contact with yet. So wait a minute. The person hasn't said or done anything for you to complain about. The person hasn't done or said anything to cause you to request FOIAs for their information. But the whole reason you walked in there was to get that stuff. And then once they react to you, you're getting that stuff in retaliation for their reaction to you walking in. Like, that's not a bait and switch. That's a bait and bait. Like, that's a double bait. Because then they have the legitimate excuse that, well, I came in there to do a FOIA. But you're doing the FOIA on the person who asked you not to film after you walked in the door. So to say that you walked in the door to get that information, any one of their arguments, if you look at it under a microscope, is nonsense, and it's all garbage. Now, what was it? Somebody said something I wanted to point out. Oh, okay. Yeah, he was just asking about the shirt. No, this is Audit Them. What happened was the story behind that shirt is actually pretty cool. A Frauditor troll was doing an interview with Audit Them. And I came up on panel, and we were talking for a while, whatever. And I asked some questions, and we went back and forth. I talked to Audit Them for a while, and then the next day, or maybe a week later, well, I don't remember exactly how many days it was in between, but he came back and troll interviewed him again. And at that time, Troll had just made his Audit Them 2 FOIAs Are Better Than One t-shirt. So Frauditor Troll decided that he was going to do a giveaway of an Audit Them t-shirt, and he was going to let Audit Them pick the winner out of one of Troll's subscribers, and Audit Them picked me. So I actually won that shirt. And like, I don't mind displaying it. Like, it's making fun of Audit Them, but Audit Them is the one who said I should have it. So there you go. There it is. So I got that for free because I won it from Frauditor Troll, big supporter of the channel. Love him. If you're not I'm supposed to ask you guys to like and subscribe. I can't even remember the word subscribe. If you're not subscribed to Troll, definitely do so. And then the other thing is this Kick hat. That's another thing that I got from Kick. He actually sent that to me because he's a huge supporter of the channel. And about a year ago or so, it's a whole story. And one of these days I'll tell you guys. But for now, I had some issues going on, some problems. And I said something about it. And then I actually got an email personally from Kick. And he's like, hey, like, seriously, what's going on? Are you all right, buddy? This and that. So we talked a little bit. And then he's like, look, you ever get your stuff together or whatever. It was this whole thing. Like I said, one of these days I'll share the whole story with you guys. But he sent me a free Kick hat. So that was great. Love the guy. Kick rocks. That's right. And then, if you're not subscribed to Kick, definitely check him out too. Keeping It Criminal. He's a good guy. Dave Perillo, you're a subscriber, but you think he's foolish. Who? Audit Them or Frauditor Troll? Go film a public toilet and see what they say about no expectation of privacy there. Because it's a public toilet. And anything I could see with my eyes, I could film. And I could see you peeing, so I could film it. Do better. Yeah. That's DMA actually got business cards printed up now that just say do better. And whenever he does that, Kick is Keeping It Criminal. And he hands out his business cards to people that just say do better. Kick's a good guy. He's one of us. Let's put it that way. He's not into the Frauditor thing at all. He can get pretty heated in debates too. Like, if nothing else, you got to say that they're definitely entertaining. And that's one of the things, like, when we've sort of over time, it's sort of turned into like, because Kick rocks, but when we're talking about Keeping It Criminal, so it's Kick rocks, So we turn it around on him. Pack. Hey now. I'm not going to say that one out loud, but that's funny. I love the way he yells at people. When Kick goes off, he goes off. You know what, David? Here's what you do. If you want to check out Kick and you've never seen him before, find the video where he does a reading of my book because he does it great. He does it with this voice where he's like this proper gentleman reading this like incredible work of literature, but he's just reading my Frauditor's Handbook. It's great. Kick is very intelligent. He was in law school for a while. He's a good guy. That being said, I almost hesitate to get back into this whole Darrell Brooks trial thing because it's just, at this point, it's the deeper we get into it, the more it's just the same thing over and over. The only change now that he's wearing a suit, other than that, is that instead of just immediately objecting to everything everyone says, he just says objection and then grounds. He just keeps saying like objection, grounds, objection, grounds, object. Sometimes while they're in the process of trying to explain the grounds of the objection, he'll ask for grounds. And it's like, well, if you'd shut up and listen, I'm telling you the grounds. Yeah, he's oh Peck. I like the Frauditor News Network. You know, when they first started, a bunch of people were asking if that was me, like if that was my sock account or something. And I'm like, no, you know, I'm a supporter of their channel. I'm not them. How long ago did he read it? Let me look it up. It was when I first published it. He was like one of the first people to buy it. Him, Vilified Freedom. Let's see, it was Uncle Artie's Bar and Grill of Stupidity. Let me go back and see if I could find it. I could put a link up to it for you. Or heck, I could play it. Let's see, because it's my stuff. I'm not going to get copyright on my own book. Let's see. Let me search for Kick here. YouTube. Keeping it criminal. Sorry, my computer isn't always trying to keep up with me. Let's see. Well, first of all, here's a link to his channel in general. Yeah, he didn't read the whole thing. He just read like the first couple chapters. Let's see. Keeping it criminal. I know. Oh, here we go. This is great stuff. You know what? I'm going to share it because this is good stuff. Let's see. Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know who Kick is or what this is great stuff. This was a live stream he did where he was reading from my book that I wrote. It's better than listening to me read it, that's for sure. My sock account. Hey.
Hello and good afternoon. I am grateful for all of you to be here for this special edition of a Lunch and Live with Kick. Today we shall be reading from a brand new edition of the Frauditor's Handbook, written by Hezokuai Jenkins. Please make sure, if you are interested in obtaining your own personal paper or digital copy, to check out the description, as links are available to purchase.
I got a link to that in this.
In loving memory of Schrodinger's cat. Rest in peace, Big Cat. How to Suck at Life, the Frauditor's Handbook.
I love this.
By Hezokuai Jenkins. You have to lie to fraud it. Attributed to Schrodinger's cat. So you want to be a frauditor. Congratulations on your decision to dedicate your life to being a professional jackwagon. I can assure you, you will find your new chosen profession will increase your arrest record at least tenfold. It will increase your chances of being trespassed by over 15,000% and will make almost everyone you meet hate your guts. Within this guide, you will find all of the information you will ever need to become a successfully monetized YouTube content creator, or, as you will learn later in this volume, a First Amendment activist. with an income based entirely on how rude and offensive you can be. The more rude and offensive, the more revenue you will generate. Please keep a copy of this handbook on your person at all times for reference. And don't forget the most important words you could ever possibly say. There is no expectation of privacy in public. Getting started. The first most important things you will need to get started are a serious attitude problem and vast amounts of hatred towards authority. A criminal record helps as well, but is not necessarily a requirement, as you will soon accumulate one. A serious attitude problem is about the way you think. If you do not have such a problem, no worries, as the necessary steps required to acquire such an attitude are outlined in the next section. A good method of measuring whether or not you have the proper attitude is to ask yourself a few questions. Questions that, when answered, will illustrate how your mind works. For example, do I believe that I am always the smartest guy in the room? Do I have a deep seething hatred for the police? Have I ever smoked meth? Have I ever beat a woman? Do I hate elderly people? If any of these answers are no, you may not have the correct attitude for this line of work. But again, do not worry, this guide will give you all of the tools you need to have the proper mental state for frauditing. Next, you will need a smartphone with a camera. When you first start, be sure to film in low definition, holding your camera vertically, as you will need to create the appearance of growth over time to your audience. In time, you may need to add a gimbal, a flak jacket, pepper spray, and in the more advanced stages, some form of fraudulent press credentials. However, this will all come in time. As you accumulate fans, they will pay for all of your advanced equipment. Of course, you will need to create a YouTube channel, but until you have some videos to post, you should only use the platform to troll anti-Frauditor channels. When creating your online identity, try to think of a name that will express the purpose of your videos clearly. I suggest something like News Now, name of random city or state, auditing whatever, or something blatantly anti-police or government. Always keep in mind your baseline goal is to create a negative interaction. The primary objectives, however, are financial gain and to get an adrenaline rush, but you must never admit to either of these things. Whenever you speak about frauditing, you must insist that you are a civil rights activist, freedom fighter, First Amendment activist, and defender of the Constitution. Change the way you think. As discussed in the previous section, a bad attitude is the fundamental basis for all successful frauditing. As attitude is about the way you think, you may have to adjust the way you think in order to achieve your goals. In this section, I will give you some examples of how you can and should adjust your method of thinking. Now, if you are a narcissist, you already do think properly and do not need to change. However, you should still
good luck,
read this
Ikis.
section not to change the way you think.
Sorry about that. I gotta address Ikis. I hope you're feeling better. I hope you have a good day and everything turns out okay. You take care of yourself, all right? Our prayers and love are with you. Absolutely.
But to add to it, I know you're most likely excited at this point to get to the script and begin your frauditing adventure. However, having the proper mindset is actually more important than memorizing the script. As you will be dealing with humans, which have an annoying tendency to be unpredictable, the script cannot possibly address every single thing that another person might say. And we have our first question. Yes, love. Very good. Take your tablet and go see mommy. Wonderful. The Kicklet. Is she
video.
not precious?
Indeed.
Now, where were we? Ah, yes. If, however, you approach the interaction with the proper mindset, When someone says something not specifically covered in the script, you can simply pull the answer from your twisted method of thinking. And when all else fails, simply repeat, there is no expectation of privacy in public. So now you may be asking yourself, how do I change the way I think? Well, here is an example. Let's assume for a moment you are actually a normal human being. If you are walking down a busy street in a heavily populated area, there will be many cars parked on the side of the road. As you walk past the cars, going about your day, you may notice out of the corner of your eye a squad car parked at some point. Now, being a normal human, you would probably not even have a second thought beyond being cognizant of the squad car's existence and continue about your day. If there is, say, for example, an officer eating their lunch in the car, you may notice that as well, and nothing more will cross your mind beyond perhaps something like, is that a Reuben? I wonder if they have good sauerkraut around here. Oh wait, I think that's just a regular roast beef on rye. No, I see it now, it's a patty melt. This is a very flawed way of thinking, and not at all appropriate for a frauditor. Let us now take the exact same situation, but look at how you should think about it. First and foremost, your mind at all times needs to be on the lookout for police. As you are walking around, the moment you notice there is a police car on the street, you should immediately begin to record. You cannot think, oh, there's a cop, and nothing more. This would be an absolutely unacceptable state of mind for a frauditor. The proper mindset for a frauditor is that situation would be to trigger yourself, building adrenaline and anger with a specific train of thought. You have to adjust your thinking. The object you are seeing is not a police car, it is your car, and that cop is wasting your money by eating their lunch in it. You have to see yourself as his or her boss, and he or she is not on break. There are no breaks. Cops are to be in action, arresting rapists and murderers all day, every day. You, as his or her boss, cannot allow them to get away with wasting your money, taking a lunch break in your car, slacking off. Therefore, it is not only your right, but your duty as an American, protected by the First Amendment, and his or her boss, to inform the officer that they are in direct violation of their oath, and is about to lose their qualified immunity for taking such abhorrent action as to have the audacity to spend your money on food and eat it in your car. By engaging in this or other similar thought patterns, you will be able to work yourself up into a furious anger that will become quite helpful for your next step. The next step in the mental process is to convince yourself that you must approach the officer and command them, as you are their boss, to cease and desist their detestable activity and return to work immediately. At this point, you may be thinking that approaching a police officer in such a manner could be frightening, and perhaps you are hesitant to do so. This is an example of one of the many ways the adjustment in thinking comes in handy. You must tell yourself that a police officer is a public servant. You are a member of the public, therefore the officer is your servant. You must tell yourself further that servant is another word for slave. The officer, therefore, is your slave and must obey your commands. Think about all of the clicks and views your video is going to get by creating a negative police encounter. And if all else fails, remember the adrenaline rush is going to be awesome. Adjust your speech. In general, there are two schools of thought on how to speak during a fraudit. The first and most common is called the Anselmo technique, named after Auditing America's Mr. America, who identifies as Anselmo sometimes and Enrique in others.
Yes, indeed. This is the Hezokuai Breakfast Club. Hello, X-Bright One. Yes, people were asking about Kick. David isn't too familiar with him. So I thought, well, I could share a Kick video. And then I thought, well, there's a video of Kick reading my book. So I thought, well, hey, there you go. I'm not going to get any kind of, guff from doing my own stuff, right? And I love the way he reads it. He's all mellow and laid back. This was a live he did when it was first published, and he read like the first couple chapters, and it was great. Also, he's offered to record the official audio version of the book for me. Unclean Hands is saying that he would have bought a hard copy edition of it. That was a thing when I first got it published. Like if I wanted to create a hardcover version, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do that though, because that would make it quite a bit more expensive. And, the whole idea of the handbook was that it could be a soft cover book that you could carry around. I mean, the physical format was part of the gag. Like, oh, you carry this around with you and it's easy to stick in your pocket because it's soft cover, and you get pulled over, you pull that out, kind of like Chili's Trifold of Terror, which doesn't do anything except for piss people off, I guess. But yeah, so yeah, that's a clip from that. That was a good stream of his. I'll tell you the truth, guys, too. I was like really surprised when that happened because I did not know it was coming. I was just like, I wrote the book, I published it, and I figured, okay, like whatever. And I talked about it on my channel, of course, a little bit, but like finding out that like Kick bought it, Unclean Hands bought it, Vilified Freedom bought it, Uncle Artie's Bar and Grill bought it. All these people started talking about it. I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting that kind of reaction. People love it. It's great. So yeah, there's that. And sorry, Peck, that it'd be so hard for you to get it. You know what? Maybe drop me an email and see what if maybe we could set something up. I don't know if it would be cheaper. Oh, Scott got it too. Thank you. To see maybe if it would be cheaper for me to send you a copy than it would for you to have one shipped from Amazon. I don't know. Send me an email. We'll talk about it. See maybe if there's something we could do to get you a copy. But anyway, I know it's only been an hour and a half, but I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up for the day because my son just woke up, and that's usually how I time my streams is when he starts running around. And the only other thing I really wanted to talk about was more of the Daryl Brooks stuff, but again, it's weird now because he's trying to, build up this whole thing where he's trying to build the defense that he might not have been the person driving the car. And he's starting to lean on that, which is good. That's what he should be leaning on. But he's still doing the objecting to his name, all caps, in the jurisdiction of the court, and constantly asking for reasons why his objections are being overruled and not letting them explain the answers to those questions. Anyway, we'll see what happens today. Again, I can't wait till he testifies. That's going to be the part that I'm most excited to see. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to wrap this up early today. But again, I want to thank you all for joining me. I love you guys. Love my mornings with you. We'll definitely be back again tomorrow morning. And in the meantime, you guys take care of yourselves. Deb Beasley got a copy too. Excellent. Glad to hear it. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. That's right. I'll be here. And again, love you guys. Thank you guys for all coming out. And where's my Elvis gnome? I don't know how this became a thing, but here it is. Oh, yay, yay. I'm all shook up.